have to manage your time better, because every single time he gets low on time, look what happens. And then somehow he loses the game. It's like Levy is living his own nightmare over and over and over again. And this is a complete telltale sign of like a psychological block that needs to be broken through by systematic analysis of all these mistakes and what's going wrong in the thought process. Then he needs to play the right tournaments. Why on earth are you playing a round robin tournament with other low-rated, talented kids who are super, super hungry? First of all, American players are extremely underrated, and he's playing against, it's literally the Hunger Games. You've got underrated kids, you've got talented players, you've got this is the worst possible tournament to gain rating in. You need to go to Europe, you need to play opens, he needs to play exclusively against strong grandmasters. Hello future grandmasters, including Gothamchess. You guys had great feedback in the last video where I proposed to be his new coach. I'd like to reiterate it's a very, very serious offer. I also live in New York. He lives in New York. And although I'm very focused to becoming a world champion, I really think that just some sort of mentoring and advice could really make a big difference. So obviously he's playing his tournament, and I wanted to recap some of his games, give him some general advice to inspire him to make me his new coach. So he started, we're going to go through his games very surface level. We're going to start from round one, and I'm going to just, obviously the Dutch, listen, Levy plays a lot of online chess. There was a period where he took a long break from playing over the board. So when you play exclusively online, you sort of get used to playing openings like the Dutch. And when you only play Blitz, you can sort of lose the feeling of danger in the opening because you can get away with a lot online. If I was advising him to become a very serious grandmaster and to play really high-level chess, the Dutch is not an opening that I would recommend. Although it might suit his style, preparation has advanced so much that even a 2200 player can really prepare and get a great advantage against the Dutch. So I would make some opening adjustments. This is sort of all theory. Everything is going fine. As you can see, at 2220, this is mainline theory. Everything is fine. D5 is okay. You could debate. I don't know, A5 as well. Okay. Anyways, game. He plays well. He's got a relatively good position. His opponent blunders. Nothing's wrong. He wins quite a lot of material. And, I was seeing this in a lot of his games. He was getting such great positions. Rook e7, I don't hate the move. I've noticed that there have been some issues with calculation. Also, if you look at his time management, this is an interesting thing to note. When I see, this position, 58 minutes, 7 minutes on rook e1, it's a pretty natural move. I feel like the confidence, also 15 minutes here, it's, the time management, I'm not, could use some work, but he plays well, he gets the momentum, everything's fine. And then, here, for example, before rook e7, my immediate thought would just be here, queen f6, queen e7. Bring the king back, bring the queen back, you're up 2 pawns. You just have to consolidate. The king is weak. This is, a2 is weak. So he needs to develop a more sort of risk-averse mindset. And then he sort of blunders, and now there's all this counterplay. It's a bit unlucky, right, that his bishop is sort of bad. And again, I don't think he's as conscious as creating counterplay. Now his opponent defends well. And, okay, I guess he's winning again. King g7 again, a bit soft, but he has no time, right? So it's hard to criticize. You can see that he sort of loses control of positions, especially in time pressure. This happened in quite a few games. Let's go to the next game. This opening, it's not the worst opening, but I would prefer, maybe a more principled repertoire would be a better option for him. He gets a decent position, but I don't know, he prepares this, and then to go, it's just a normal position, everything is fine, he's playing well. I noticed a lot of times he gets a great position, he outplays his opponent, and then he tries to sort of force things. E4, you should really not, pawns can't go backwards. And when you have such a positional clamp, you want to sort of, it's clear that if black gets a few moves, the knight on e8 is, black spends some time trying to maneuver to d6, but obviously you have quite initiative. A4 is a very, very natural move. When you play, clearly all these weaknesses, and I can, and then you can see how everything just collapses. Like from this position, when you have a position that you are in complete control, you must keep control. If you are in control, there's no reason to force things. So a couple psychological shifts about framing and sort of game. There's game theory in chess, right? There's ICM in chess. There's a lot of things you can apply. So this sort of, I saw this, he just collapsed, and again, time pressure. You can see he just, like everything is fine. Like this position, even here, he's got 33 minutes, everything is fine. You play normal moves, you start taking time, and then, as soon as he gets low in time, complete collapse, and then he's under pressure, he goes down to 4 minutes, and then, collapse, game over, lost. So, again, clearly time pressure, time management, it's all part of psychology. This game, let's flip it. So, okay, the opening's fine. It's a bit more principled than his usual stuff. I played this quite a lot. Nothing wrong. Yeah, h4 is a very bad move. Everything's great. Yeah, so bishop f6. Yeah, no, usually these positions are very complex, so I'm not going to criticize too much, right? Even I've misplayed these positions myself, but since the h file is open, it's quite logical, right, to go on the h file and to start attacking the king. Bishop f6, it's a reasonable move. Everything is, he's getting sort of all he could dream about, but I don't know. I feel like for me, this is it's a bit. You don't really want to open things up when you're, here it's sort of just one way action. You're just you're just going to checkmate. You don't really want to, open. Obviously, this is just a terrible mistake. B6, like maybe it's nerves, maybe it's complex position, but I feel like the confidence wasn't there, and then everything just collapses and he loses. Queen d7 also is just it's just an insane move. So. Clearly, there are a lot of things going wrong with the thought process, and the thought process is affecting the confidence. And when you're not thinking properly, when you have no confidence, things can sort of spiral. So he lost this game, which was not good. And then, okay, this was a better game. Again, like c4, b6. Like, do I really recommend this? Would I prefer something a bit more proper? But okay, it depends on the opponent. It's sort of, I guess it worked out pretty well here. He gets to show his preparation. Okay, see, it works out perfectly fine. Okay, you're playing at 2400, but if you want to become like a grandmaster, these things are going to be punished. So he plays great, actually. Very good game. Very good game. Nothing's wrong. I'm like, this is perfect. He's momentum, and then takes. Yeah, but come on, again, it's like at the critical moment, at this moment where he just he's trying to force things too much. When you play a lot of blitz, especially online blitz with no increment, you lose your patience because you have this just instinct, like take the piece or make the move. So perhaps a little bit less more blitz, playing a bit more with increment would be helpful. Then you liquidate to an endgame where, and again, he's like losing control. Like this looks very dangerous to me. Rook b5. I'd start to get worried, right? You never know what can happen. So, again, offering a draw, like I would prefer he always plays on. He made a later draw offer, which was not good. Like for example, after this, he was sort of mentally broken and he stopped fighting, which is not good. Like no matter how bad things are going, you have to keep. So he has a great opening position, like dream position. Like this is like give me this position against a super GM. It's lights out. Every single time. But again, f4, like there's no reason why you should create a weakness. You have this. You have 3 perfect targets. You have the open file. You have everything. Do not make like just bring your rook to d1. Slowly but surely, these positions, they win themselves. Very often, again, maybe the computer says it's fine, but what is this knight doing on c7? It's a bit awkward, right? So again, a3, like, I saw him in his recap, like, okay, the thing is that here he might think, like, oh, I lose the file, but again, patience. Like, you have a connected pass pawn. This bishop is stuck because the pawn can never move. Maybe the king can come in. Like, the way you view this position is, okay, I'm going to go king f3, I'm going to go h3, I'm going to go g4. Maybe they go h, like, for example, the way I think about it, like, let's say you sit. Let's say maybe you want to trade this. Or maybe you want to go this way. And then maybe the king comes in and you go g4, you go g5, and then you cement the weakness. But you have complete control, right? So then maybe eventually, it's like it's a step-by-step process where you need to be patient. You really can't force things. So he offered a draw, like a much better position. Again, I would set a blanket, like, no draw off. Like, literally, you're not allowed. He should not be allowed to agree to draws. That's a rule that I would set for someone on his level trying to improve. By the way, like, the advice I'm giving is I hope he watches this. Again, so he plays the Caro-Kann, his pet opening. I have nothing against it, right? But Bortnik obviously goes for sort of a little surprise, something I guess I should study. B3 is a move I've never seen before. I've played the system with both colors, so it's quite the idea. But it shows against a strong player like Bortnik, you could get surprised in the opening. He's in big trouble. Like, if Bortnik just plays like normal chess, like, you're just complete. It's really, really bad. But of course, Bortnik just goes crazy. He blunders, and he's just like completely in control of the game. And again, like, you just have to take the piece. But again, this is where sort of calculation plays a role. Like, yes, it looks scary, but then, like, nothing's happening, right? Like, here, you block with f6, you're crashing through yourself. So a lot of issues with calculation can stem from issues in confidence. And, if you don't believe and you don't trust your judgment, it's, these types of mistakes, happen more often. And then again, look, he gets into insane time pressure. Like, from the beginning, he's completely like 20 minutes on castles is an issue. And then 5 minutes on, like, a massive blunder. And then he's just bleeding time, like, again, 12 minutes on the most obvious move. Like, this is probably the most logical move. Like, you have to monitor, this is crucial, right? And then in this position, when you're in control and like, simplicity is simplicity is your greatest friend, right? And then here again, like, he loses complete control, and then things start going, and then, but again, he's already low on time, right? And once he's lost control, he has a great position, but the time, like, you can't get low on time. You have to manage your time better, because every single time he gets low on time, look what happens. And then somehow he loses the game. So it's like Levy's living his own nightmare over and over and over again. And this is a complete telltale sign of, like, a psychological block that needs to be broken through by systematic analysis of all these mistakes and what's going wrong in the thought process. So then, this was another game I think he made a premature draw. Again, the opening, like, not the biggest fan, but, that's something that I would recommend a more serious repertoire. But again, he has a great position. Like, this move is just, like, beyond my wildest dreams. Like, you have the two bishops, you have an amazing position. Why are, like, again, I don't want to, this is not meant as judgment, but risk aversion, maintain control. Like, there's no benefit that you get from taking risk in a position of control. Let your opponent make a mistake. Let your opponent, they are the ones with a terrible position. There's no reason to, like, ever do something like this. So it's all about a mindset of, like, understanding when to take your risks. And then again, like, time pressure, and then he loses control. Like, it's all about maintaining control, keeping composure, and preventing these types of mistakes. So, this was unfortunate. Obviously, this is a funny draw, right? Because the bishop just sacks. It's, you can't win. This was an unfortunate game. Then this last game, he kept fighting. But the thing is that, like, you're playing the last round, you're having a terrible tournament. This is your chance. You're playing a low-rated opponent. You can't take a draw. You have to fight. I'm sure you're miserable. you feel terrible, you've had a terrible result, all you want to do is go home. But if you want to become a grandmaster, you must fight at every single opportunity that you get. Because as you get older, and as you get more jaded from bad results, you only go deeper into the same bad habits that make you stagnate as a chess player. So you got to fight, you got to play. My main summary, what I would say, no draws, new rule, no draws, no draw offers. Like you will not. He cannot receive or accept any draw offers for his next tournament. Then he needs, obviously, to go through all of his games, find the patterns, thought process, inner monologue. He needs to play the right tournaments. Why on earth are you playing a round-robin tournament with other low-rated, talented kids who are super, super hungry? First of all, American players are extremely underrated. And he's playing against, it's literally the Hunger Games. You've got underrated kids, you've got talented players, you've got this is the worst possible tournament to gain rating in. You need to go to Europe. You need to play opens. He needs to play exclusively against strong grandmasters. Now, note this. Gothamchess is the most famous chess player in the world. Every single tournament will invite him. He should use his status to get invited to tournaments where he is the bottom seed. He should go and play in grandmaster round-robin tournaments. He's the bottom seed, and he should go there. Who cares if he loses 9 games? Instead of playing against 2200s where you're risking all your rating, learn from losing against the best players in the world to actually realize what it takes to reach that level. So this is my analysis, which I seriously hope is taken to heart and is appreciated, because this is the exact roadmap of what's necessary. Let me know what videos I should do in the future. I'm going to start, documenting the journey, recaps of every tournament I play, commentary, everything. So subscribe, like, comment, check out all my social media channels. I stream on Twitch as well, all my, Title Tuesday, everything. So thank you guys for watching. And to all future grandmasters, including Gothamchess, good luck with your career.